What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the vlog. Interview tips for new grads. How in the world can you stand out? Welcome back to the vlog. For those of you that have never been here before, my name is Sean. I do a video blog series on surviving the real world of nursing. I offer how-to hacks, survival tips, and honest opinions on how to survive this thing called nursing. Today we're doing a video series I have termed Hey Sean. Hashtag Hey Sean. It's Q&A, questions from the tribe, and they usually start the question with the words, Hey Sean. I had a new grad reach out to me actually today, and I decided to do this on a last minute. Had a new grad ask me a question. Apparently they are going for an interview tomorrow, and they would like some tips, some tricks, some suggestions on how to stand out in a good way. And I came up with 10 things. 10 things that I think, every new grad should know if they don't already know. 10 things that you should know when you go for that first interview. Dum, dum, dum. Want to say hello. I want to say hello to those of us who are making it to the live feed. We got a couple people that have joined us. We have Offhand Agent and J White Duck. Man, you gotta love these usernames. Those are interesting. For those of you catching this on the record, welcome back. 10 tips. We're gonna roll right into this because I don't want to waste anybody's time. 10 tips. Number 1, you need to dress for success. I mean, hello. Whatever you do, and I don't know who thought this was appropriate, and I like, it hurts my brain to think about this. Do not show up in scrubs. And I really hope that you would not show up in street clothes. You need to dress for success. You need to show up in your best. You need to show up dressed to the nines. You need to have on the tie and the suit. Ladies, you're gonna have to have on business attire. Men, you're gonna have to shave. I'm sorry. You need to shave whatever's going on the face. You need to put on deodorant, maybe even a little bit of cologne, okay? Dress for success. You need to treat this like this is life or death, because it kind of is. If you want to get this job, you better dress for it. Do not show up in wrinkled clothing, scrubs, even though we live in them. Do not show up in scrubs. Whatever you do, don't show up in scrubs, okay? And I only say this because I actually know many people that thought that was appropriate because, I mean, that's what you're going to wear on the floor. It's what you're going to wear in the job. So wearing scrubs to your interview has got to be okay. No. I mean, seriously. Bring it down. Okay, moving on. Number two, you better research the company that you are interviewing with. You need to know something about the people that you want to hire you. You need to make sure that you know something about them. Are they an urban? Are they suburban? How large of a hospital are they? How many beds do they possess? If you're interviewing for a specific position, I don't know, maybe you're interviewing for ICU because that's just what I know. If you're interviewing for the ICU, then you better know some stats about the ICU that you're interviewing for. Is it cardiovascular? Is it trauma neuro? Is it some sort of medical ICU? Is it specialty in some area? Oh, are they a stroke center? Are they trauma certified? Are they level 1, level 2, level 3? I mean, you need to know something about the facility so that when you interview, you can actually say these things to them and, I don't know, impress them quite a bit. Not only that, but you should probably know what you're getting into at the very least. I don't know about you, but I'd like to know who the heck I'm interviewing with and why. Why do I want to be there? When you research the company, you should be able to answer that question. Number 3, you better plan ahead, plan your travels, and anticipate delays. I don't care who you think you are and where you think you're going. Crazy things happen in the middle of the morning or the afternoon or wherever it is that you decide to go interview, what time of the day. You could have some sort of mishap with your clothing. You could break a shoelace. I don't know, your car could break down. You could be run out of gas. There could be traffic, bumper to bumper traffic. You better plan ahead. I would suggest getting there almost an hour ahead of whenever that interview is scheduled. An hour is good because then you got 60 minutes of error that you can account for. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You show up an hour early? Oh darn, I guess you should prepare and practice and research. Yes. Get there early. There's no such thing as being there too early. If you're not early, you're late. Say it with me. If you're not early, you're late. Number 4, you need to practice whatever these expected questions are. And if you don't know what they are, get on this thing called Google and type in common interview questions. I am not about to spend 30 minutes on the common questions that they ask. It's just randomly off the top of my head, and you gotta remember, this position I haven't interviewed in like 5+ years, and prior to that I didn't interview for 8+ years, but I still remember some of the questions. For instance, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Give me an example of a stressful situation. Give me an example of how you handled a difficult coworker or a difficult patient. Give me an example of time management skills. When have you had to exercise time management skills? These are pretty self-explanatory. Go to Google, figure this out, and you need to have answers. You need to practice what your answers are. And they have to be genuine. Don't be a robot. Everybody else is a robot. Be genuine in your answers. If you have a weakness, tell them about it. If you have a strength, tell them about it. Don't be a robot. Don't give them the answer that everybody expects. Also, as a sidebar, you definitely don't want to be an idiot and answer them inappropriately. For instance, y'all know that I have a bit of a mouth, and I have every so often let the curse words slip here and there. You need to make sure that you aren't swearing at your interview. You need to lock it up and behave. Know what I'm saying? That was 4. That was 4 tips, right? We're on the 5, right? Let me see here. I actually wrote this stuff down so I didn't lose my place. Yes, we're on to number 5. Number 5, bring an extra copy of your resume, or if you like to call it your CV, whatever it is the kids are calling it today. Make sure you have an extra copy of it. You don't want to show up high and dry, because there have been many a times that the interviewer has misplaced or forgotten or accidentally threw your resume into the garbage, and now they know nothing about you. Because I'm going to be honest with you, when they interview you, more than likely you're interview candidate number 10 on a list of 50 people, and they're probably interviewing 30 of them all in one day. So yeah, they may have misplaced your resume. Make sure you bring one with you. Oh, by the way, I forgot your resume, but I vaguely... Oh, hold on a minute. I have an extra one for you. Here you go. Boom! That's called being prepared. Number 6, you want to make sure you sell yourself. You want to promote whatever it is that you bring to the table. This is where you get to shine. This is where you get to tell them more about yourself than what's on that piece of paper, than what's on the resume. The whole point of the interview is to sell yourself. It's to convince the person on the other side of the table or the other side of the chair, or multiple people, that you are the person for the job, that you are the best candidate, that you can bring them success, that you are it. So you need to figure out what your pitch is. Why would they hire you and not your classmate? Why would they hire you and not some Joe Schmo who literally has a carbon copy, same exact resume as you, same amount of experience, same amount of grades? Why is it that they want to hire you? What do you bring to the table? Okay? Number 7, you better make sure you have questions to ask. You're not only going to get asked a bunch of questions, but you better come prepared on what you want to know about the job, about the company, about the unit, about the staff, about the manager, about the doctors, about the patient population, about the schedule, or how you do call-offs, or what kind of orientation is it going to be like? How long is the orientation going to be like? You know what I'm saying? Got a couple people rolling in on the live feed here. Losing my place. I tell you what, this is very difficult sometimes. Someone says they live in Norway, choose to be a kindergarten instead of being a nurse, study a year ago. They didn't regret that. Oh, okay. Someone saying that they wish they would have gone into nursing. So a little outside of what we're talking about, but respect. Where was I? Losing my place. Make sure that you come prepared with questions. And you better have this stuff written down if you can't remember it. And it should be written down, and you should bring it with whatever you're bringing with you. Meaning, you're going to bring a copy of your resume, so lo and behold, hey, I should bring my resume, I should bring a tablet, and I should bring questions to ask. Which leads me into, I'm going out of order here. You want to make sure that you actually bring a portfolio. I don't know what they're calling it these days. We call it a portfolio where I came from. But you want to have not only your resume, but your clinical experience, your personal experience, maybe some letters of recommendation. Got to have your academic records. I used to bring this huge honking thing of a portfolio just in case they wanted anything. And in that portfolio was a notepad and a pen, and it's where I asked questions, and when they answered me, I took notes so that I could refer to them later, or worst case scenario, they say, oh, well, we didn't mention that. Oh yeah, you did. I wrote it down. It's right here. So make sure you bring a portfolio, tablet, something to take notes on. And while we're at it, make sure you ask for business cards. This is all in tip number 7. Ask for business cards and make sure you bring a portfolio so you can write notes. Okay? Clinton says, been watching my videos 2 years till he has his first interview. Best of luck to you, Clinton. So, number 7. Actually, that was number 8. See, I'm totally confused. Number 8. That was number 8. Man, that's what happens when you have a long list. Number 8. Ask for business cards, bring a portfolio. The business cards are so that you can write notes either on the business card or you can make some sort of correlation to who in the world that you talk to. Because you may actually have an interview where you talk to multiple people. So ask for a business card. And if they don't have one, make sure you write down their name. You're going to want it later in one of my other tips. Number 9. You need to follow up with questions and ask them specifically. When will the facility decide on who gets the job? How long will it be before you are contacted? And who is actually going to contact you? Most of the time it's HR. Every so often, it will be the manager or the hiring personnel. If it's not an HR administrator, doesn't matter. You want to make sure who's going to contact you, when are they going to contact you, and how long will it be before they make a decision. Meaning that after your interview, you could be waiting weeks. And I'm not exaggerating. You could be waiting weeks. Weeks! There was one job that I actually had to wait an entire month. Like 4 weeks! It was torture. It was complete torture. And I called them every other day, if not every third or fourth day, because I was an idiot and I didn't ask them when they were making a decision. Lo and behold, they had already said in the interview, which I didn't write down, that it was going to take up to 4 weeks for them to make a decision. This is a very important thing you need to know so that you don't drive yourself to the brink of insanity when you leave the interview. Not that I have any experience with that. Yes, drive yourself to the brink of insanity. Make sure you ask them who, what, when, where, so that you can be prepared for the painstaking wait that awaits you. Oh, wait that awaits you? You got it. You know what? You got it. And number 10, this is probably the most important. This is just professional courtesy, and I don't know why I actually have to say this out loud, but there are individuals out there that have never done this before. Always, 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 let me say it again, always, always, always follow up with a thank you letter or a thank you card, postcard, doesn't matter. Make sure you send something in the snail mail. I know we're in the electronic age, I really do, but don't you dare send a thank you email. That's just bad form. That says to your potential employer that, yeah, you don't really care. Yeah, whatever. Hey, thanks for your time. I may have wasted your time or my time because you're so important that I'm going to spend time sending you an email from my phone before I go to bed. Negative. Nurse Bass jumping in on a live feed. Hey, man, thanks for hanging out. By the way, if y'all don't know who Nurse Bass is, you really need to go check him out. That's all I'm going to say. Nurse Bass, B-A-S-S. I mean, he's like a YouTube superstar. If you don't know who he is, you really should go check him out. And he didn't pay me to say that. You better have a thank you card or letter sent in the snail mail. This is professional respect. But, big but, huge but it also reminds them of who you are. So they've interviewed, you were candidate number 22 out of candidate 50, and it's been 2 weeks, and they're looking and shuffling through all the papers. You need to make sure you send them a reminder. Hey, by the way, thank you, and let me remind you who I am. Now, you don't actually say those words, but you need to make sure that the letter is personalized. Say something that reminds them of the interview that you had. You could even put in a mild joke in there about something that you collaborated or bonded over, or something that you both found funny. Whatever you do, you want to make sure that your follow-up, your thank you letter, your thank you card is personalized. Don't be doing the horrible templated letters that you can find on the internet and Google. You want to make it personalized, and I would highly suggest you handwrite it. Highly suggest you handwrite it, because that shows that you have a vested and genuine interest in whatever job you just interviewed for. 10 tips for the new grad nurse for that very first interview. 10 things! Okay, yelling now. I don't know about you, but I wish I would have known this stuff when I was interviewing for my very first job, because it was a kind of an aha moment later in life. Thanks to everyone that hung out during the live feed, and if you've made it this far during the record, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message. Leave me a comment. Do you have any questions that I can answer for you? Hashtag Hey Sean. What can a nurse practitioner with almost 15 years of nursing experience, what can I answer for you? What do I say at the end of all my videos? As always, check your own pulse first.